Hello again, welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and if you cannot tell, I am feeling much better. So I'm excited about tonight's live stream. So if you guys can make it, it is tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do Workshop Wednesday. It's just 1 hour of Q&A and anything goes. We just hang out. It's just good-hearted, like-minded people just all fellowshipping and having a good time. So if you can join us, make sure you do. Plus, during that live stream, I'm going to be sharing the announcement on the Christmas giveaway, so all the details and everything. So try and make it. I'll probably pop live for, I don't know, the first 5-10 minutes. Let everybody kind of jump in and we'll chit chat, and then I'll go right into the details, and then anything goes. And then, real quick, I know you guys love this. Real quick thing. Okay, so real quick, if Nicole is watching, Nicole, I'm going to advertise. I got my Dark Horse coffee. So I will be getting this just in time so that way we can have a cup together. And for everybody, that is Nicole from Living Free in Tennessee, where I will be on Sunday, this Sunday, doing an interview with Nicole. So that's one that you guys are not going to want to miss. So without further ado, let me jump into my notes. And again, this is in no particular order. And I think because of yesterday was kind of short, hopefully this won't go too long. So I'm going to jump through this as quickly as I can while still making sure that you guys get the information that needs to be put out there. So for the second time, a U.S. naval warship in the Red Sea has shot down a projectile that was fired near it. In this case, it was a drone launched from Yemen. So keep that in mind. The first time, I believe, was a missile, I believe, but it was not shot at them. This drone apparently was launched from Yemen and actually headed to them. So I don't know if that's a testing thing. Hey, can you see us? Hey, what are you going to do to take it out? Whatever it is, that is a data point, okay? So keep that in mind. Next, Finland will close its borders to Russia tomorrow on Thursday to ensure national security. Not quite sure it took this long, it's kind of odd that Russia and Ukraine's been at war for, almost 2 years now. So it takes 2 years of a war for you to be like, hey, maybe we should close our borders. So interesting data point. Kind of makes you feel like something else is up, but just keep in mind, okay? Next, France. France issues the arrest warrant for the Syrian president Bashar al-Assad over the alleged crimes against humanity for the chemical attacks in 2013. So it's kind of, again, a data point. It's interesting. Why did it take this long? Now I'm not saying he did or didn't do it. I actually don't even remember this. So I don't know how big of a deal or little of a deal or really what the accusations are. But here we are in 2023. So if you do the quick math, that's 10 years ago. This was a huge crime against humanity involving chemicals. Why is it 10 years later, and why is it only France? So that is one I'm going to kind of look more into, but it's just a headline that I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of. Now, here's one that this is going to be kind of interesting to see. These two, this is the Turkish president and the leader of Israel, have kind of been going back and forth. They were going, round and round here. And so we kind of want to pay attention because Turkey could be a very big wild card. Remember, Turkey's in NATO, okay? So this makes it very difficult when you kind of have two friends and they're both bickering because they're both going to look at you kind of wanting, which side are you going to pick? So let me give you the example on round number whatever they're on. So yesterday in a kind of a meeting or a press conference or whatever. Let's call it a speech. Yesterday in a speech, the Turkish president, Erdogan, sorry, I pronounce it weird and everybody kind of tells me I pronounce it weird. I'm going to call him Erdogan. If that's not how you pronounce it, okay. Said in a speech, asking if Israel had nuclear weapons. Now, we've kind of covered this on a show or two about that. But then he went on to say, and this is where I picked up on it, your end is nigh anyway. Whether you have nuclear weapons or not, you are on your way out. Kind of a bold statement to be making there. But I think with that one, he clearly made his line in the sand of like, hey, this is where I stand with you guys. This isn't like a wishy-washy jumping back and forth playing both sides. This isn't like, we kind of support you or what. No, he just basically was like, no, we're done. Okay. Now, Netanyahu being who he is, he fired right back and hey, I'm all about defending yourself. So if somebody said something, say what you got to say. So Netanyahu fired back in his speech saying that there are forces that support terrorism, one of which is the Turkish president Erdogan. So, uh, hey, let's see what he's got to say about that because I've seen some rumors and some reports that there is some terrorism kind of in the Turkish country there. So it's going to be interesting. But data points. Watch these two because something's weird about all this. There's a lot of stuff. So we're keeping an eye on Lebanon. We're keeping an eye on Syria. Those two, I think, are a powder keg. But Turkey's the wild card in all of this. It's going to be interesting to see. So Turkey's really kind of coming out and being much more vocal about this whole situation. So now we start looking to see, is this just talk? Is it just words? Or is there actually going to be actions about this? So again, data point. Let's just keep that in mind. All right, so moving around. So Xi Jinping actually has confirmation that he did land in San Francisco today. What I found interesting about this is that there was no, let's skip the name, Biden, and there was no Harris. Okay. I found it odd for Harris. That's Harris's home state. So you think she would have got out there, at least for some brownie points or something, but Harris was nowhere to be found. And then the only two people on the tarmac to meet the Chinese leader was Gavin Newsom, which I would give as an obvious, and Janet Yellen, of all people. So I don't know, which again, she was over there doing mushrooms or whatever she was doing the one time. So maybe they have this little thing going on. But I just found it odd that it was those two greeting the leader of China, but okay, whatever. Now, during the meeting, Xi Jinping said that a possible conflict between China and the US would entail unbearable consequences for both sides, and that the world is big enough for both countries to prosper. Okay, I mean, I don't like Xi Jinping. I'm not a Xi Jinping sympathizer. I'm not, anything. I I can't really find too much to fault in there. I don't believe it's true. I don't believe that you're going to have two countries settled to be number one. It's human nature to have a number one and number two. This kind of right here implies that, hey, we can have a multipolar world. You can have two, three big countries that leave each other alone. And it would be great. I mean, on paper, that would be great. But human nature, no, somebody's got to be on top. And so I don't think it's going to work. And I don't think the US is going to allow it. Now, there was something in here that I did not put in my notes, and this is supposed to be during the meeting that I haven't got too much into it because this is all kind of fresh news, is that they were supposed to do some sort of an agreement on the AI ability in military. So this is supposed to be limiting the AI's power in actually being like a fully autonomous drone and AI being in charge of like nuclear weapons and things like that. Now I'm digging into it deeper because I really want to understand because drones are my big thing that I think is yeah, I don't like drones. Okay, if you've watched me long enough, you know that. Um, let's go down a different rabbit hole than that one. Let's leave that one alone for now. What I did find interesting, though, is during the meeting, while it was going on, groups of Chinese brawled outside of the Hyatt Regency Hotel. And this right here was just, protesters outside, just getting into it. So that kind of went all over mainstream, and I'm sure that there was, probably something in there. There's probably some agitators or whatnot. Data point, okay? Now keep in mind that they had the March for Israel in DC. I haven't seen anything come from it. Okay, I didn't see any arrests. I didn't see anything burned down. I didn't see anything smashed or looted. You had a leader of another country come over, and all of a sudden there's, fights and different things going on. So, data point. Speaking of protesting, apparently, and I'm not going to say apparently because there's actually video confirmation and officials that confirm this. So, protesters tried to storm the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. So keep this in mind, for all the other times and all the other videos, because we've been doing this for a while now. All these countries, all these people do not want U.S. embassies there. They don't want the U.S. there. They don't want it, okay? And it's one of those ones that at some point in time, you've got to just cut it and go, okay, look, if you don't want us here, I'm out. I've got problems at the homeland that I can go take care of. Whatever the reason that we were here, if this is how it's going to be, we're out. You do you, we'll do us, okay? And I think we need a leader that will kind of go into that thing, Look, you're down and out, you got some problems, you want some stuff, you want us to come help, cool, we'll come set up shop, we'll get some things rolling, we'll stick around for a little while, make sure everybody's, good, and then we're out. But no, we've got to have a permanent presence in all these places. Now, some of it I get it. You got to maintain a presence just to kind of as a deterrence. But at some point in time, if you go there and set up shop and 80% of the people in the country despise you, and why put all of our military in harm's way when they don't want us there in the first place? They don't want our values, and we shouldn't force our values onto them. That is their culture. It's a whole different country. It's a whole different set of people. It's a whole different cultures. It's different on every level. So if they don't want that, okay, look, hey, we came here, we did it. You want us, we're out. Cut it, go. So, let's see, what else do we have? Here's an interesting one that was really small article. So hospital officials in Haiti said that a heavily armed gang stormed the hospital and took hundreds of women, children, and newborns hostage. Now, keep in mind, and I've got to try and skirt this because of the way that the YouTube algorithm and all this other stuff. There's trafficking of people on that island. Okay, that's a well-known fact. Okay, and so is this something to where something's been kind of cut off, or the faucet's been really squeezed down, and the people that's been doing this was finally just fed up, like, nope, we're doing it. So data point on this. I'm going to keep on to that story because I think there's a lot more to it. But yeah, and you know what? The video is going on long enough, and I want to get ready for the live tonight, and I want to have some things to talk about. So you know what? For one time, let's end on a good note. So I saw a video of yesterday that protesters kicked the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau out of a restaurant in Vancouver. And because I almost put the video up so you could watch it, but I was concerned about copyright. You can Google it. Just go type in Trudeau kicked out, restaurant, and it'll pop right up. I promise you. It's a shortish video, and these people are just not having it. So, and also, while I looked at my metrics, the number 4th country that watches this channel is Canada. So you Canadians, what are you doing? Come join in. Let's bump you up. But in this, hey, good job. Tell Justin Trudeau, hey, go find somewhere else. This is our restaurant. So good for you, Canada. Proud of you. Now, America, take a note from Canada on that. Hey, you know what? You are in the government. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me. You can leave. I'm not happy with you. I don't like this. No, they didn't do anything. There was no busted windows. Nobody got arrested or anything on the Trudeau thing. They was just up and going, no, we don't like you. You need to leave. And if more and more things happened on that, then maybe some good things would start happening around the country. And I think more people need to start flexing their no muscle, because I get asked all the time. And I'll tell you, this almost comes, well, and it's not even almost, it basically comes straight out of the page from Bear Independent, because what he says on his videos is extremely good and it needs to be shared around. For all the questions that people ask, where they go, well, what are you going to, or what should we do when digital ID comes? No. What do you mean? I mean, they're going to force you. No. Well, what happens if, no. It's that simple. The way he says it is flex your no muscle. And that's what more people need to do. You need to take charge. You get one life. Stand up for your values. Stand up for what you believe in. And when something is wrong, when there is an unjust law, or when somebody is trampling on your God-given rights, then you take your stand. And so when they come to you and they go, knock, 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 we're coming in your house, you go, no, you're not. Nope. And it's just as easy as that. Well, you've got to take this thing. No, I don't. And the whole point of being a prepper is that they cannot do anything to you. Well, we're going to shut your internet off. Thank you. I'm happy about that. Well, we're going to shut your water off. Okay. Well, we're going to shut your bank account down. Okay. I'm prepared for that. Well, what do you want? You know, the whole point of being prepared, there's nothing they can do to you. So that went off on course. That derailed from what I originally was going to do with that. But apparently there was a calling that something needed to be said. So whoever needed that, that was for you. So, all right. Video is long enough. Guys, try and tune into the live stream so that way you can catch everything. Again, Nicole, thank you for the coffee. I'll be having a cup this Sunday when we chit chat. I'll be doing a interview with Local Prepper the day before, so this Saturday. So there's a lot coming up. Plus, I have about another 4 or 5 interviews. So, guys, subscribe. Make sure you do all the YouTube things so you don't miss all that great content. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and support that I get on basically a daily basis. You guys are amazing. So stay tuned. More information to come. God bless each and every one of you. Remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.